Packers, they got eliminated. They are now officially out of the playoffs for the second season in a row. It's something that Green Bay and their fans have not seen in a very long time. I can't remember the last time it was, but they are now officially eliminated with their loss to the Chicago Bears in this last week, and also a Vikings win. Well, let's talk about their offseason. So, coming up, they have 2 first-round picks. They acquired one from the New Orleans Saints last year during the draft. They moved down a couple spots and in the first round, and then they picked up another first round. So they'll have that. Now, let's talk about their needs. This is very big. You know, they have one wide receiver right now, right? They have one main target, that's Davante Adams. We all know that. But their biggest problem is that wide receiver spot. They don't have another one. They need another one. They've got a few guys that are fringe. You know, we all know what that means. You know, they're getting the job done, kind of. But if you really watch the game, these wide receivers, along with Jimmy Graham, have not been getting open. They're not getting open. And if they do, it's minimal. You know, the only guy that can get separation on the cornerback and the defensive backs has been one guy. It's been Davante Adams and sometimes Cobb. But you can see that Cobb is starting to wear down. You know, it's just evident. You can see it. Now, another thing they need is a defensive pass rusher. I'd say an edge rusher. I think that they need somebody coming off the end. Obviously, that's where you're going to get the most push, right? So, I'd say they need, and they have 2 #1 picks, remember, so they can go wide receiver or they could go edge rusher. You know, they had a lot of injuries this year to Daniels and Kenny Clark later on in the season, but you know, we need another guy on the edge. We have guys in the middle, but you can see Clay Matthews doesn't have that same push that he used to. And let's be honest, we're probably not going to re-sign him. His career in Green Bay is probably over. His contract's up. He's going to want some money, probably more than we're willing to pay. And you know, he was great, but I'm thinking it's time to probably move on. So you're going to lose Matthews and you're probably going to lose Cobb. So you're going to free up about $25 million. So, and then you already traded Clinton Dix, who would want probably a big deal. And you got rid of Randall. So he was a cornerback for us, and he went on to the Browns, and now he is a safety. And he was awesome. So the Packers dealt off 2 guys that could play. But the positive in that is that they won't have to pay them. If they can sign somebody good, that'll be the key. They didn't do that. When they got rid of Jordy Nelson, and then they signed Jimmy Graham, who was just, let's be honest, nothing against Jimmy Graham, but in his career he's been good, but with the Packers, he even admitted it, he was bad. It was a terrible signing, and it really, I mean, you got rid of Jordy Nelson, Rodgers' main target, and you signed Jimmy Graham, who plays like crap. So that's what we did. That's what the front office did for the Green Bay Packers. So not only that, they dealt off 2 guys that can play on the defensive end. Hopefully that turns around to be a good thing. But by freeing up that money, we'll see. Time will tell. But as far as all that goes, that's kind of covering it all. But now let's talk about this main problem. The Packers have not made the playoffs in 2 seasons, right? And we all know we got the countdown going. I mean, Rodgers can't be on the team forever. He's 35 now. He'll be 36 next year during this time of the season when they're going to be making their playoff push, right? So they're going to be 36 next year, and we all know that it's possible. I mean, Brady does it, but not everybody's Brady, right? People's their clock ticks different, right? So we'll see. That's another thing though to keep an eye on. And then, you know, you can really start tracking different things here. You know, you can start looking at Rodgers. His progression as far as that goes is, I mean, there's not much getting better. I'd say it's probably getting worse. I'd say that he's missing open targets, if there ever is any. Now, granted, there's been a lot of drop passes, and like I said, people are not getting open, so it's kind of hard to judge. And another thing is that he might have been injured. You know, we don't know. But yeah. So let's move on from that. We can't really tell. We can't get a good gauge on that right now. Maybe after the season we'll let everybody know. But right now we don't know. But the next thing is the Packers. Are they now? I guess they're now trying to free up more cap space. I thought I read that somewhere, but let me just skip that part. That'll be a play in a couple weeks, I think. We can go back to that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we can keep covering the Packers throughout the year. There's always news coming out, so we'll keep covering it. But we got a couple more things here. Personally, my concerns are that two of the main three additions by this new general manager, Brian Gutekunst, I think were terrible. I think that his two big additions were just terrible. So I'm really worried about they freed up cash, but who are they going to get? You know what I mean? Here, I'll name them. So their first addition was Jimmy Graham. We already talked about him. Terrible. Number 2, Josh Jackson, 2nd round pick. After they already drafted Zaire Alexander in the 1st round. They took another cornerback. They took 2 cornerbacks to start off our draft. I know Josh Jackson was great in Iowa, and he picked off a lot of passes, but you know what? You just picked Zaire Alexander in the 1st round. Let's go get a wide receiver to help out your quarterback that you just paid all the money in the world to. You know, you just dealt Jordy Nelson. Let's get a great wide receiver. If that's your plan to get rid of Jordy Nelson, you know, let's pick up. And then he goes on and later in the draft and picks like Valdez Scantling and St. Brown. You know, then he signs Kumerow, who was supposed to be a big factor, got injured, so we'll see that. Hopefully he sticks around. He seemed like he was a pretty good addition. So, but who knows? We don't know. But those other 2 didn't show up. Maybe a couple times, I thought, but they were definitely on the wrong page. They were not getting on the same page with Rodgers throughout the year. But yeah, I just those big moves. 2nd round pick, terrible so far. Jimmy Graham, waste of $12 million or whatever it was. I mean, we could have got anybody else. I don't know, frustrated. You know, I think that the Packers failed. Their front office failed. I think that's where it starts with. I think they didn't. Oh my God! Just thinking about this off the top of my head. What about this? The Bears are in your division and they get Khalil Mack, and you kept your number 1s, so we'll see who they get for that. But they kept the number 1s, and the Bears get Khalil Mack, and look what happens. The rest is history. The Bears win the division, and Khalil Mack has another Pro Bowl year. You know, Gutekunst messed that one up as well. So I'd say it's a mess up. I think that, you know, when you get a shot to get that type of player, it's just very, very hard to pass, and I'm shocked they didn't pull the trigger on that, or at least try to make it work. 'Cause, I mean, you can't let the Bears get that type of player. You just can't. But now, with all that being said, the Packers obviously have the capability to come back in the 2019-20 season. and win it all. You know, they had a ton of injuries. They did. And I mean, and to be honest, like I said, Rodgers could have been hurt. He could have had something torn and played through it. So I guess we're just gonna have to see. But Packers fans, I'd say that just rest assured that you know you're gonna win in the future. You got a great quarterback, and Kaiser's underneath Rodgers right now for another couple years at least, and hopefully he's growing into another Favre, Rodgers, Kaiser for the Packers' sake. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys, and also the bell. If you hit the bell next to it, you're gonna get notified every single time there's a video uploaded, a brand new one, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of NFL here, a lot of Packers stuff. I'm gonna be covering all the news and updates throughout the year. And then if you guys have any comments, comment below, let me know what you think. I wanna know what you guys are thinking about for this off season and coming years, what the plan is for the fans. I like that opinion better. I think that sometimes the fans know better. If we all talk together, I think we're gonna figure this thing out and hopefully make a dent. And hopefully we can get Gutekunst to do what we want, because we need some help. It's obvious, and also we're gonna cover the coaching situation. We need a new coach. And yeah, so talk soon. All right.